Hello, everybody. We're here to talk about building a team of heroes. You've just seen we've added some more heroes onto the Avengers team. It's getting bigger. It's getting better. I've invited editor Jordan Delano White on to talk with me about building superhero teams. So, Jordan, what do you think is the best way to build an ideal superhero team?
Well, okay. First of all, that depends on whether you're talking about us building a team as editors to put in a comic, or if you're talking about building a team, you know, in a world where you're actually concerned with the team, just like in the Marvel Universe, with what kind of threats you're going to face.
What are your differences?
Well, because doing a team for the Marvel Universe, in the Marvel Universe, you're going to try to be like really logical and have a balance of powers, and you know, this person can handle this person can handle that. You know, some strong people, some flying people, some teleporters, some telepaths if you're the X-Men, etc. But if you're an editor,
Illogical.
You're more concerned with good stories, probably some conflict. You're not going to pick everybody who gets along. You're going to pick somebody who's a jerk. And it also doesn't matter, because if you make a team of like 6 people who are all super strong, you got to go, we need to find a threat that you need 7 super strong people to beat easily. And then they just all have to punch at once, and then one of them has to kick too, and then they win.
That sounds absurd. So, in world, if you are in charge, if you're like in S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're saying, all right, we're putting together a team of heroes.
Right.
How do you do it?
Okay, in world. Mm-hmm. Well, then, yeah, you would make up, you'd say we want to cover our bases as far as spectrum of powers.
Right.
Every team's got to have a really super strong dude. Mm-hmm. Every team's you're going to want, who's going to be the leader, who's got a good strategic mind. You're going to want some offensive powers, some that are ranged attack offensive powers. You're going to want some defensive powers to be able to help protect your team, whether that be people with force shields or intangibility powers or things like that. Some sort of transportation powers, whether that be flight or, again, teleporters. And, again, if you're the X-Men, you want a telepath on there. If you're not the X-Men, you probably can't have a telepath, because for some reason telepaths are all mutants.
All right. So then let's go out of world here and say, as an editor, you're putting together a comic book superhero team. Mm-hmm. How do you do it?
Well, you want. Then I think it becomes much more about their personalities. Mm-hmm. You're gonna. I mean, like I said, you're gonna want opportunities for romance. You're gonna want opportunities for disagreement and anger, which you don't want. You actually want the exact opposite of that if you're Nick Fury.
Right.
But as an editor, you definitely want that. You're going to want to throw in, like, who's the jerk on this team? Who's the total jerk that is going to give people a hard time? And make
a hotshot who makes his own rules.
That's one version of a jerk, yeah.
Sure, okay. What else do you want? Is there any other elements there? Any other sort of combustible properties?
Yeah, I mean, you want popular characters, too.
Sure, all right.
Whereas in world, they don't do that. Nick Fury's not there going, well, who's gonna get the media attention? He probably doesn't. I don't think worry about that.
Well, if you have a very media-centric team, though...
Yeah, but most of them aren't.
All right.
How many of those we have? We have the Ecstatics back in the day. Recently, I feel like
You've got Uncanny. That's all about Uncanny Avengers, putting a face of unity, and you want very media-savvy people on that team. It's part of why that team was chosen, correct?
Well, is it in-world?
I believe so. Do you
I mean, that's definitely why they specifically talk about choosing Havoc for that reason. But do you think, like, is Rogue media friendly in any way? Like, she's like kind of an angry young woman.
Yeah, but she's real pretty. She's good on camera.
Okay, all right.
All right. Any final thoughts from you on putting together a good superhero team?
Well, I mean, the other thing that people do is they do a lot of times try to reference their favorite teams from the past, their favorite versions of the teams, if they're not new teams, which most of the time that we're not. We're doing Avengers or X-Men or things like that. So a lot of times there is a little like. Here's an example. I know when we started Wolverine and the X-Men, there was a very deliberate choosing of characters from all various decades, various eras. Like, can we get some from the original, some from the 70s, some from the 80s, some from the 90s, some from the thousands? At least I think so. And so it ends up with and some new ones. And it was a real nice blend of
A potpourri.
And you get matchups that you've never seen before, and new relationships are formed. It's great.
All right, well, there you go. Hopefully, we've built a dynamic superhero team, both in-world and, from the perspective of giving you delightful comics to read here in Avengers. Thanks, guys.